launched a bit too hard and now I've got a box full of neutrals. First neutral, second neutral, all gears neutral now. Hi, I'm Andries and this is my Nissan Patrol. It's a Y61 2002 model. It has a 6BT Cummins 5.9 litre truck motor inside. The main reasons I went with the Nissan Patrol with the Cummins is I wanted a tow vehicle to tow the toys around, like the Lada of off-road races and recoveries and stuff. And the Nissan Patrol's got very strong axles, and with it already had a Cummins diesel motor in when we bought it. Me and Dian sent each other the marketplace message of Alan Venter selling this car with the 6BT Cummins already in it, and we both said we gotta get it, we have to get it, we have to make a plan before somebody else buys it. So we immediately made a plan to drive to Bedarstorp to meet up with Alan to go look at the car. And we were on the drive there, we said we're going to take it, I don't know how, where we're going to get the money, but we're going to make a plan. And the two of us, he sold one of his cars, I sold one of my cars, and as we drove there we got the money together and stuff, and we got the Cummins on the yard, on our plot, and then we said the two of us can fight over whose car it's going to be, but let's just get the car in the family, and then me and him can fight about who's going to be the lucky owner at the end of the day. So we used it together for a while, and now he's gone to the States to make some more money for more 4x4 parts. The vehicle came standard with a 4.5 petrol motor, but it was converted to a Cummins 6BT diesel motor because they use it in the small trucks, like the 8-ton trucks and small buses. It was a perfect vehicle for towing trailers, long distance to Namibia and all over the country, and to do recoveries with it. It's got a lot more torque, low down from low revs. It's already got plenty of torque, so it's perfect for towing trailers. Standard it normally revs only to about 3,000 RPM. After we bought it, Dian did a full rebuild on the motor. He did pistons and re-sleeves and thicker pushrod tubes, bigger valve springs to handle the more revs. He ported and honed the head. He sent the turbo away for hybrid and the blade clip for more power. And then he got a P-pump. It had a rotary pump on when we originally bought it. Now it's got a P-pump on. It's like 4 times the size fuel pump, which ups the capability of the revs. So it revs higher now. It can rev to 4,500 RPM now, which was only 3,000 standard, which makes a big difference. It helps a lot in the dunes. It's not so bad on fuel. It's quite light on fuel compared to what it is. With the big tires and while towing, I still get about 5 kilometers per litre, 4.8 kilometers per litre, towing trailer and heavy loads. Dian did a lot of effort. Every single bolt, he gave me a lot of work to make sure every single bolt we had to polish, sent away for electroplating, power coating, everything that could be power coated, electroplated, made everything very nice. Did a lot of effort, and all the water pipes he did stainless steel. Yeah, I brought in a bunch of trick stuff, asked no questions. I just said go mad, because this is also one of Dian's dream trucks and dream builds, and we built it together, and it's working out very awesome, very strong. The cup holder on the bonnet is that's where the exhaust comes through. It's a weight reduction, so we're going to have a big heavy exhaust system running through the car because the engine is so heavy that we did some weight reduction. So exhaust just comes straight out of turbo, about 300 long, straight out the bonnet. That was Dian's idea, and at first I said no, it's going to be loud. We can't see through the smoke. It's like, but you can't change Dian's mind. So just do it. If it sucks, we'll change it, and if the cops give us trouble, then we'll change it. But until then, we're going to drive it, make some black smoke, and it helps with the EGT, so the exhaust temps keeps a lot lower because the heat comes out, the exhaust comes out very fast. And it's a nice flame if you want to do some marshmallows or something, it's lekker. Yeah. After we bought it had 315s on 16-inch wheels. I added DirtyLife 17-inch beadlocks, which makes a big difference for not debeating. With the car being so heavy in the nose with the Cummins motor, the debeats helps a lot. So you don't pull a tire off the rim when you do drifting or sharp corners with low pressure, or on the rock rolling when all the weight of the car is on one wheel, you don't debeat the tire. And I've added Toyo tires. It's 37-inch tires now, which makes a big difference on the grip for more flotation, to keep the heavy car above the sand and above the mud and stuff. So that made a big difference. I also added TRE air lockers, front and rear diff locks. And so far, I think I'm on my third gearbox so far. I've broken third gear, I've broken the output shaft, I've broken the input shaft. So I added a uni-clutch into it. It's because of all the torque, I didn't want to struggle with clutch issues. So the uni-clutch handles the torque very well. It's soft on the pedal. You don't feel it's a dual button clutch system. It's a uni-clutch for universal clutch, I guess. And you can fit it in almost any car. And you can fit it in any car. It comes with universal adapters. You can make it fit. And you get them for power ratings 1000 newtons, 1400 newtons, 2000 newtons. This one can take up to 2000 newtons max, the clutch. We're making 800 newton meters of torque and about 250 kilowatts at the moment. And it's capable of a lot more, but we're running out of fuel and running out of air, so the turbo needs to be operated more, and we need to add more supply fuel to make the numbers we're aiming for. We're aiming at the end of the day, we're looking at aiming for 1400 newtons and about 300 plus kilowatts. So, yeah, the only drawback of the clutch is I just made my gearbox a very expensive fuse. That's where we're heading. So the biggest issue now is gearbox. So now the clutch doesn't slip, the gearbox bursts.
All the way to the back of the car. Whoa! That is it. It's over.
I launched a bit too hard and now I've got a box full of neutrals. First neutral, second neutral, all gears neutral now. The worst memory I have of this car was me and Uwe was on a Namibia trip, the Desert and Diamonds Dash. It was an awesome trip, and on our way back, the air filter was clogged. From all the dune drifting, it sucked in a bunch of sand and the air filter was clogged. My co-pilot at every single fuel stop asked me, blow out the filter, it's got to blow. I said, no, it's fine, we can see it through the clear perspex cover. And towards the end of the trip, we were overconfident about the filter does a good job. It does a good job, but then the filter was clogged, and we went highway speeds back home with a headwind, this very, very strong headwind, and we had to power through it. And we lost power all of a sudden, and we melted the piston. We melted the piston so much it melted through the intake, through the turbo, it went right through the turbo, the pieces of piston that melted. So yeah, that was the worst experience. So. I have to be honest, I'm not a diesel guy, I'm a petrol guy, and especially for dunes and stuff. But the Cummins made sense for towing and stuff, and on one of the Cape Route rally trips, the Landy was out of action and the tow car had to stand in for the Cape Route rally. The first time I went into the dunes, I was very, very amazed at how this diesel climbs the dunes. I wasn't expecting to do so well in the dunes. It did for a 3-ton car with a diesel motor. It did very, very well in the dunes. It was much more capable than I thought it was going to be. That was the most astonishing thing. I know what the car can do, towing and pulling and stuff, but seeing it, feeling it, performing in the dunes, when you put how fast it revs up for a diesel, and when you floor it in the dunes, how it climbs out climbs on top of the dunes and climbs out. I couldn't believe how it performs. That amazed me. I was very impressed with the car in the dunes. So. In the latest Cape Route rally, I was the Kennedy support vehicle to support the crew and all the cars in the Cape Route rally, because you drive hard, stuff happens, stuff breaks, and we've got some awesome Kennedy tools, rusty recovery ropes, and Loki Thor also amazed me a lot. when I saw this small Loki Thor box to jumpstart my Cummins battery was dead. I think there's an earth issue or something there was. And I looked at this little box and said, it's not going to happen. But it was one swing and it started right up. So Loki Thor did very well there. We do all the support for all the crew, mostly ourselves. Don't tell them that. But if there's any breakdowns, any debeats, anybody stuck or any issues, we help them get back on track or get the car back on track. And if we can't get the car back on track, we'll tow it or trailer it to where the closest help is to get them back onto the track. Rusty recovery ropes also gave us a kit to test to use and abuse. And there was one recovery we did with a Hilux stuck on the opposite side of the dunes, belly plated on the edge of the dunes, but it was more towards the wrong side. So I know you don't recover like that, but I thought, well, we're going this way, he's coming. So we hooked up the rusty rope and I pulled all the way with the Cummins. It was so smooth and soft, and I just kept driving smoothly, and the Hilux just came. It is amazing how smooth and soft the Rusty's recovery rope makes the recovery. And we used the bridle to spread the load. And the soft shackles are so easy to use. You can hook them up at so many more places than you don't need it. I like the steel shackles. I like the soft shackles a lot more because if something does come undone, it's not a steel shackle flying through the air. It's a soft shackle basically a piece of rope that flies through the air. So it makes a lot less damage when stuff do go wrong, which inevitably stuff does go wrong. A lot of fun supporting the guys and mostly myself as well. Yeah.
Wie die kar so hoog gemaak? Toe daai ou kry, die kar so hoog gemaak.
Like Kennedy boxes stand on it.
In the future, we're gonna broaden the Kennedy range of tools we're gonna use on the trip to do more extensive repairs. We've dropped gearboxes on the farm, and we're also getting a drawer system to get the stuff more organized. And I'm also getting a CPP snorkel, a second snorkel. I've got one snorkel at the moment. I want to add a second snorkel, second air box for more air and more filtration of air for all the dust and the sand and stuff. For my gearbox, I've got a few options. There's no standard auto option, but there's autos you can build them that'll take the power. Quite expensive to do, but there's a few options auto. I don't like auto because I do like the rod and tongue. The Cummins is so simplistic, no electronics. I like to stick to no electronics. With being able to do bush fixes, it's a lot easier with a manual than an auto. If my battery dies, I can running start it. I've done that plenty of times. In an auto, you can't running start the car. So that's one of the main reasons I want to stick to a manual. The way I drive, I like to decide which gear I am. Especially in the dunes when the auto doesn't want to shift or doesn't shift or does shift when you don't want it or doesn't shift when you want it to shift. So I like to decide which gear to tackle a dune and to stay in and to drop a gear or to up a gear when you want to. I decide when I want to shift. Yeah. And there's a manual gearbox in the States that they use in the Dodge Ram 3500s. It's a 6-speed, I think it's an NV5600. That's one of the options I'm looking at. We're just making plans to get it here and to the budget to get it here. At the pace I'm breaking gearboxes, I think I'll get there soon. So if I just make a plan to make it happen.
Get ready for the ultimate driving adventure, the Cape Route Rally. An epic challenge across Southern Africa's toughest terrains, from the heart-pounding dunes of Namibia to the steep, unforgiving cliffs of Johnny Support, pushing their vehicles' skills and spirit to the limit. A test of grit, a test of teamwork, a test of both man and machine. This is more than a rally. It's the thrill of a lifetime.
All right, boys, let's go, go, go.